Well, we have some breaking news coming in. BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya tweets saying that a 4-year-old girl belonging to a Bihari migrant Dalit family is raped in the Tanda village in Punjab, then burned to death. Former Union Minister Vijay Sampla meets the victim's family, but Rahul Gandhi and Tejaswi, who do politics in the name of Dalits and backward classes, are now silent. Well, those are the details we have. That's a tweet coming in from Amit Malviya. Going across to Payal, who joins us for more details. Payal, unfortunate that rape politics once again playing out.
Yes, of course, and with the fact that the opposition has constantly questioned the rapes and the brutalities on women in the BJP ruled states, that's one of the reasons you've seen the BJP now ask Rahul Gandhi and Tejaswi questions, saying that, what about this particular rape which is taking place in Punjab, which is a Congress government? And what are you doing about it, and why have the perpetrators not been arrested? So obviously, unfortunately, even as women continue to be brutalized, politicians will continue to play politics on the issue.
Right. Any reactions to Amit Malviya's tweet by the opposition, Payal?
Well, not so far, but obviously questions will be asked because this is a Congress-ruled state where Captain Amrinder Singh is the chief minister as well, and obviously this kind of a brutality taking place with a migrant labourer at the time, and they're canvassing and campaigning in Bihar and saying that the government of the day did not look after the migrant and the migrant interests as well. Obviously, pot shots are going to be taken, but so far we've not seen any reaction coming in from the opposition for sure.
All right, Payal, thank you for joining us with all those details. Well, moving on from there, soaring onion prices are pinching consumers' pockets hard. The centre has imposed stock limits on both the retailers and wholesalers with immediate effect until the 31st of December. Now retailers can stock onions only up to 2 tons, whereas wholesale traders are allowed to keep up to 25 tons. For the second consecutive year, onion prices have surged at retail outlets across the country. In cities such as Mumbai and Pune, retail prices have risen to 100 rupees a kg. A supply crunch due to failed crops and flooded fields is the reason behind the drastic hike in prices.
With effect from today, we have issued a notification where we have regulated onion, we have imposed the stock limit on onion, and we have issued the notification to the effect that the certain quantities are being declared, that what quantity can be maintained by a wholesaler, what quantity can be maintained by a retailer. And this stock limit has been imposed on onion with effect from today up till 31st of December this year.
त्योहारों के इस मौसम में आपके रसोई का बजट बिगाड़ सकते हैं प्याज के दाम। इस समय हम दादर सब्जी मंडी में खड़े हैं और यहाँ पर जो प्याज बिक रहा है काफ़ी ज़्यादा दुकानदार हमारे साथ हैं। दादा, क्या भाव है आज के दिन प्याज का?
200 रुपये 2.5 किलो, 80 रुपये किलो के हिसाब से है। बाहर गांव में बारिश हुआ है और ख़राब हो गया है, और इधर आते आते और भी ख़राब हो जाता है, इसी की वजह से कांदे का भाव बढ़ गया है।
साफ तौर पर प्याज का जो दाम है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है।
ज़रूरत तो पड़ती है ना प्याज का, सब सब्जी में तो डालना पड़ता है, इसलिए महंगा तो लेना पड़ेगा।
साफ तौर पर लोग काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशान हैं यहाँ पर, और जो प्याज है हर सब्जी में डालनी पड़ती है, इसीलिए उन्हें ये प्याज महंगे दामों में खरीदनी पड़ रही है।
This festive season, onion prices have become a big dampener because onion prices here have gone up. A kilo of onion is being sold for 80 rupees now. Just 2 weeks ago, it was being sold for 60 rupees, and consumers here are feeling the pinch. The rise in prices is basically mainly because of the incessant rainfall in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Telangana procures most of its onions from these two states, and also in Andhra's Kurnool district where Telangana sources its onions from. Now all these areas have been severely impacted by floods, because of which there is a disruption in the supply chain, and the state government here says it's going to take a while before the situation normalizes. Onions बिक रहे हैं?
नहीं बिक रहे हैं, पहले जितना नहीं बिक रहे हैं। पहले जितना आदमी 5 किलो लेता था, अब आधा किलो 1 किलो ऐसे ले रहा है।
So there you heard them say that the prices are likely to go up, and that's because of the disruption in supply chain, because of the rain affected areas.
Now, Maharashtra is home to Asia's largest wholesale onion market in Lasalgaon in Nasik. It is said that Nashik decides the onion prices in India, but why have they surged in the last 2 weeks? Vinay Deshpande gets us this ground report. Take a look.
Careful and very measured buying of onions is taking place at this Pune market. 250 grams, half a kilo, the purchase is calculated as retail prices reach 100 rupees a kilo.
इसकी नीड है वो तो खाना ही जरूरी है, वो 100 हो या 150 हो, वो खाना जरूरी है, तो नीड है तो लगने ही वाला है.
Maharashtra is home to Asia's largest wholesale onion market in Lasalgaon in Nashik. Prices here have doubled over the last month from 2,500 to 3,000 rupees per quintal to 7,000 rupees now.
इसका मेन कारण ये है कि इसमें लॉकडाउन हो गया था. लॉकडाउन में किसान अपना माल बेच नहीं सके, तो उसका भारी नुकसान ये हो गया कि उनका माल डैमेज बहुत हो गया. आज 70% माल मंडी में था, तो उसमें से 30-40% उसका डैमेज होने के बाद 20% माल शिल्लक रह गया. और देशभर की डिमांड बढ़ने के कारण अचानक भाव में तेजी आ गई.
Heavy and untimely rains have damaged crops on over 10 lakh hectares of land. Prices have also surged because the Nashik region has to meet the entire country's demand after rains destroyed onion crops in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. It's also traditionally the lean season now before the arrival of the late Kharif crop. Farmers allege, though, that the prices have been artificially jacked up. The damage to crops is estimated at 35,000 crore rupees. The government has relaxed import norms till December 15th to ease the supply. More buffer stock will also be offloaded, but with fresh arrivals still to come into the market, the situation is unlikely to change till at least Diwali. Vinaya Deshpande from Mumbai.
Now, with just 4 days to go for the elections in Bihar, jobs is the focus in battleground Bihar. Lok Janshakti Party Chief Chirag Paswan kept up his attack on Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, this time over the alcohol ban in the state. Paswan reasoned that the rise in smuggling of alcohol in the state was due to increase in unemployment. He said people in Bihar are being labelled as smugglers in the name of the liquor ban. Remember, alcohol was banned in the state in 2016, months after Nitish was elected as the Chief Minister. Well, going live across to our senior political editor, Maria Shakil, for more. Maria, many have called prohibition in Bihar a mere facade because alcohol is still freely available. Smuggling is rampant as well. And that's been, specifically pointed to by LJP Chief Chirag Paswan.
Yes, that's right. And Chirag Paswan has been taking a dig at Nitish Kumar's governance model over the last few weeks. And that is the reason why he has said it very clearly that he is fielding candidates against the JDU, but not against the BJP, because he feels that the real double engine would be a BJP government in the state of Bihar and Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the center. Having said that, is prohibition really an issue? Look, Vandana, in 2010, in 2015, this constituency, which is essentially women constituency of Bihar, voted for Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar in 2007 gave 50% reservation for women in Panchayat. Thereafter, he created these Jivika Kendras, which was essentially providing employment opportunities, managing the issue of livelihood associated with the poorest of the poor women. Then the sense of security also came in. So all that was done to create this agnostic caste constituency, which also influenced the vote of the men in the household. Now there is a visible erosion in that vote constituency. Women of Bihar are now could very well go back to their respective caste identities, and they are talking about how prohibition particularly has backfired. In 2015, when Nitish Kumar came in alliance with Lalu Yadav and was seeking re-election, he had made prohibition as the poll plank, which meant women voted even more for him in 2015. Thereafter, in this election, women certainly are angry. They are upset that prohibition seemed to have backfired. If anything, liquor is available in black markets, which means it's more draining out of the household resources.
All right, stay on with us, Maria. Maria had in fact travelled to Muzaffarpur to do a reality check on whether Bihar is really a dry state. Take a look.
I am in Muzaffarpur district of Bihar with a group of women voters to give you a sense of what will decide the vote of women voters of Bihar. Because let's not forget, election after election, Nitish Kumar had created this caste-neutral constituency. Are these women voters going back to their respective caste? Are they unhappy with the decision taken by Nitish?
Out after Mehbooba Mufti now says her party won't raise the Indian flag unless they're allowed to raise the state flag of Jammu and Kashmir, which became obsolete after the abrogation of Article 370. The former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister expressed her anger against the centre, saying people of Kashmir were not comfortable with the current regime in the valley. If that wasn't enough, Mufti also said that she had no interest in fighting elections unless special status is restored. Addressing the media, the PDP boss placed the party flag and the flag of Jammu and Kashmir in front of her.
आज तक यहाँ के लोगों का खून बहा, अब मुझे लगता है हम जैसे लीडर्स के खून की बारी है। ये एक सियासी जंग है जो हम पूरे तरीके से लड़ेंगे और इसमें मैं चाहूंगी कि हमें आपके साथ की भी जरूरत है। हम तो इकट्ठे हो गए। मेरा एजेंडा तो ये है, सामने मैंने रखा है। जिस वक्त हमारा ये झंडा वापस आएगा हम उस झंडे को भी उठा लेंगे, मगर जब तक हमारा अपना झंडा डाकुओं ने डाके में ले लिया है तब तक हम किसी और झंडे को हाथ में नहीं उठाएंगे।
We can't tolerate such statements. Jammu and Kashmir is India and our flag is our Tiranga, our tricolor. महबूबा मुफ्ती के खिलाफ राष्ट्रद्रोह का मुकदमा दायर करके इनको जेल की सलाखों के पीछे बंद करना चाहिए। मैं जम्मू कश्मीर के माननीय उपराज्यपाल महोदय जी से निवेदन करता हूं, ओनली इंडियन फ्लैग, आवर नेशनल फ्लैग, तिरंगा ट्राइकलर can only be hosted in Jammu and Kashmir. We will sacrifice our life for our country, for our motherland, for our national flag, Tiranga.
Well, bringing in my colleague Mufti Islah, who joins us live from Srinagar for more details. Mufti, the BJP expressing outrage over Mehbooba Mufti's comments, saying that she should be booked for sedition and thrown behind bars.
Well, pretty much what Mehbooba said yesterday, that whenever there's any election, Kashmir all of a sudden comes handy for this government. And look at what is happening in Bihar elections. Prime Minister Modi also speaking. Then Mehbooba yesterday in that press conference did mention that Yogi Adityanath, the UP Chief Minister, was speaking about Article 370 and asking all the people to buy land in Jammu and Kashmir, while as Kashmiri leadership was told to keep mum over this issue. So clearly she had said that, if there is any failing of the government, whether that is joblessness, economy, or for that matter China, all of a sudden Kashmir is raked to, is used to rake passions. And clearly she did say that, the centre needs to give it back, because Kashmiris or the leadership is not at fault, because they had actually violated the constitution when they took away that special status. And they've said that, in fact, all of the mainstream leadership, that also includes National Conference, one-time rival of PDP, we all together in this, and we pledge that we will get it back, and centre has to really do. Now, when reporters asked her that BJP has said that it's cast in stone, she did say that, the BJP won't be there for long. And in fact, when there would be a regime change, we're willing to wait, we're willing to fight it back. So clearly it was kind of a very harsh worded statement, wherein she equated Delhi to bandit. She used the word bandit at least at 6 to 7 times during this, and said that they were robbers who had cheated people of Jammu and Kashmir and unilaterally foisted that decision. All in all, she said that all the mainstream leadership here are on one page, and they pledged to fight to restore Article 370. But at the same time, saying that it was really the time for the leadership here to give sacrifices, because Kashmiris have seen a lot of bloodshed, and they, in fact, will be steadfast in their resolve to get back those special articles. And not only that, in fact, now they're willing to take it few notches up and really ask for resolution of Kashmir.
All right, Mufti, thank you for joining us with all those details.
We don't don't have any option left. We tried everything. We tried to reach our hospital authority, the MCD authority. We tried to reach the state government authority, but nobody is ready to listening us. They are just giving verbal assurance.
Hospital is a COVID facility, which now, of course, is shut. Why? Because the Delhi government thought it was wise to shift the patients, the corona patients, from this particular hospital, which is MCD run, to Delhi government hospitals like LNJP and other hospitals. But the point remains that, nothing was done for them.
The doctors' strike in Delhi has entered day 19. Their salaries have been stalled for over 3 months, and they say that they are tired of raising the same issue with no resolution. Recently, the MCD released salaries only for the month of July. The doctors have vowed not to go back to work unless they are paid fully. Some doctors say, in fact, have been sitting on an indefinite strike since the start of this month as well.
The doctors are now saying that enough is enough. There is going to be no work if there is no pay. In fact, the doctors here, they spent the night here just outside the gates of Hindu Rao. Let me also try and quickly ask them.
Me and my wife, both of us are working here. We have a kid, 2 years old. And it's really hard to sustain ourselves. For vaccination also, we need... I was supposed to get my kids vaccinated yesterday. Yeah. It's really hard to afford even those things.
The doctors now, the nurses and other healthcare staff, it's becoming difficult for them to run their daily households. This is basic, this is human rights to get paid for the job that you've done. Nobody should go through this, and especially doctors. The governments, both at the center and in the state, they've turned a blind eye, they've turned a blind ear to the plight of these doctors in the national capital.
On India Positive, this all-in-one supermarket in Mumbai's Bandra provides a source of livelihood to acid attack survivors. Set up by an NGO, its aim is simple: to provide a means for them to stand on their own 2 feet. Mihit Trivedi reports.
This Bandra supermarket is a shop with a cause. Run by those who survived acid attacks. Daulat B, founder of the Acid Survivors Sahas Foundation and a survivor herself, found funds drying up during the lockdown. A fundraiser raised some money, which she chose to invest in a supermarket, giving its workers a steady source of income.
दो चीज़ कंटिन्यू चालू थी लॉकडाउन में, एक तो मेडिसिन चालू थी, एक तो ग्रोसरी। तो मेरे दिमाग में यही चीज़ आया कि हमने एक फंड रेज किया था एशियन बॉक्स के थ्रू मिलके, जिसमें 15 लाख फंड रेज हुए थे। तो मैंने यही सोचा क्यों नहीं ये पैसे को मैं ऐसी जगह इन्वेस्ट करें, उनकी मैं भूख मिटा सकूँ, विक्टिम को टाइम पे उनको राशन पानी दे सकूँ मैं। इसीलिए एक छोटी सी शुरुआत किया है, लेकिन हमारी इससे ज़्यादा कोशिश है कि मैंने आज यहाँ पे कि हर स्टेट में हमारा एक छोटा सी सुपरमार्केट हो, जिसमें हमारे सर्वाइवर खुद से काम कर पाए।
Siddharth and Saira Banu are among those who work here. They value the sense of independence their job brings them, as well as peace of mind.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है अभी खुद का हमारा एसिड सर्वाइवर सास फाउंडेशन का शोरूम शॉप डाला है।
जॉब के लिए हमने बहुत परेशानी उठाई, पर जॉब किसी ने दिया, प्रॉमिस सबने किया, पर ये फेस के वजह से हम पढ़े लिखे नहीं है, फेस का प्रॉब्लम है, जले हुए आप लोग के हाथ दिखते हैं, फेस दिखता है, इसके लिए जॉब हमको नहीं मिलती। बोलते सब लोग अपन देता कोई नहीं, पर हमारी मैम ने खुद हमको हमारे पैरों पे खड़ा कर दिया।
This mini supermarket has had a huge positive impact on the lives of acid attack survivors working in this place, and now the Sahas Foundation hopes to apply the same model to other cities in a bid to empower many other acid attack victims and provide them livelihood in these current pandemic times. With BJP S. Rajesh in Mumbai, This is Mihir Trivedi.